Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now July 9th of 2022, and over 2 weeks ago, we got the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series finale delivered on Disney Plus, so that the fans can finally witness the final duel between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. At least for now, we'll get into that a little bit later, but a lot of things are happening at the same exact time between George, John, and Dave on developing this new Star Wars universe moving forward to really give fans brand new eras, familiar eras as well, in the Star Wars universe that's really going to introduce Legends characters again, coming into the Disney canon, as well as returning characters like Luke Skywalker, Anakin, Din Djarin, you name it. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars is that there's a lot of things happening between Disney and Lucasfilm as companies, given that they are trying their absolute best to bring Star Wars back on track, and a lot of that is being done and held by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. Now, thankfully, Bob Chapek is the guy that's allowing Jon and Dave to do as they please, allowing Jon and Dave to introduce all these new fan-favorite characters to the Star Wars universe, and really giving them the spotlight that they deserve. You know, characters like Luke, and other characters like Anakin Skywalker, and more. Now, when it comes down to the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, alright, Season 1 specifically really kind of sent fans into becoming, very much, heavy critics over the show, and rightfully so. They had valid reasons as to why the Kenobi series had many flaws embedded within pretty much each and every episode of the show by Joby Harold, who wrote the series. Now, on top of all of this, alright, Chapek actually had some very big things to say about the Kenobi series and the character of Reva. Now, with both Disney and Lucasfilm currently developing their new Star Wars TV shows and movies, they are also focused on new canon material coming to Star Wars. It's described, however, that in a recent interview with Disney CEO Bob Chapek, he went on to talk more about Obi-Wan Kenobi and eventually apologized about the character of Reva and told the truth to fans by stating the following: "We at Disney are always looking to the future and how we can evolve this large franchise that has existed for decades. One thing I want to focus on is how we developed Obi-Wan Kenobi. We understand that it's no secret that we are aware of fan criticism online, and how a lot of that criticism went toward one of our newly introduced characters, Reva. I just want to say to the fans that we are deeply sorry and regretful that we rushed through the writing and the production of the show, and how it had a big effect on characters like Reva, one of our new characters that may have held poor writing decisions to the eyes of our viewers. We had this original vision for Reva in what we were planning as a Kenobi trilogy. We had the character holding very detailed character development. It is to my understanding that fans are not interested in this character's merchandise, nor are they focused on an expansion for this character. This was a tough production for all of us with the Kenobi series. It went from being a movie back and forth to a series, and of course, to a trilogy, and here we are. And we wanted to get this thing out as a love letter to fans. If we did not meet expectations with the writing of some of these new characters like Reva, we deeply do apologize and are going to try and do better with a new expansion that we are working on with the Kenobi series that I really can't get into much right now." Now, let me just, pause here for a second, because Bob Chapek, I don't know about you guys, but he really does seem to apologize for things quite a lot. We've seen him do this with other projects before in the past, not Star Wars related, by the way, but other projects out there that kind of went sour. But when you look at everything related to this scenario, alright, look at their situation. The Kenobi series was a production nightmare, and there's a reason behind all of this, is that they did not really know, and he talks about this as well, they didn't really know exactly what they were doing with the Kenobi project. First, it was a movie, like one movie standalone that was set for 2020. Then, for obvious reasons, they could not release it in that year. And then that sent them into planning it in the form of a trilogy by Stuart Beatty, who was writing 3 movies, getting ready to do that at least. And then that eventually also went down the tubes, and that brought them to the Kenobi series. It was all a back and forth thing, like he said. You know, I think that when you look at it like that, it was a production nightmare. Probably pretty on par with the Acolyte series and how that's going right now by Kathleen Kennedy. The Acolyte series is another prime example of a production nightmare. It's been in limbo for almost 2 years now. It's not really moving forward all that much. They keep rewriting the script. Kathleen Kennedy keeps firing creatives and getting new ones on board, and that's setting Disney, you know, with a lot of setbacks for that show as well. Now, on top of this, alright, he goes on to state the following. This was a production that almost came to a halt, believe it or not, multiple times while we were filming. We view ourselves as very lucky for even getting this series to release on our platform, given that we didn't really know which direction to go with this show. It's our job to learn from our mistakes and choose the correct writing team to handle said material that we are planning to move forward with. Characters like Reva were very tough since we had to adapt that character from the movie trilogy format to the TV form on a streaming service, and so we left it open to Stuart Beatty after Mr. Bob Iger did not want Stuart on board of the project as a series. Iger, who sat in the same position as me 2 years ago, made that call, and it was a very tough call to make. Apart from what Chapek said here, however, this also alludes to Kenobi Season 2 that is currently and actively in the works, and exactly what's been going on between both Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen getting ready to get involved in other Star Wars TV shows, such as, of course, Hayden for Ahsoka Tano, where his scenes are set to begin filming in 2 weeks' time from now, and how he will be involved also in Season 2. So here's the thing about all of this as well, is that, before we get to the next thing, everything related to Bob Chapek, alright? Thankfully, he is allowing John and Dave to do whatever they want from this point forward, right? In fact, they are going to be involved in Season 2 of Kenobi. Whether or not that really matters, we'll have to wait and see. You know, they are very creative people. I'm sure that you're going to see a big contrast, a very big difference between Kenobi Season 1 and Kenobi Season 2 with the proper writing team on board. I also found it funny how he brought up the character of Reva, of how Reva becoming a character in a series instead of a trilogy truly changed the game and changed the structure of the writing of this character. He's basically admitting that the writing of Reva was absolutely pretty awful. That's the simple way I could just say it. It was pretty awful. Now, she had some good moments, let's be honest here. You know, Reva had some good moments, you know, maybe 2 or 3 or maybe 4 times max here and there. But for the most part, this character to me, guys, I don't know about you, very poorly written, poorly introduced, overused, and absolutely served no purpose in some scenes, and even kind of messed with some of the logic of Star Wars. Why would Darth Vader let her live if she knows his identity, and let alone was a Padawan that survived? It makes absolutely no sense to me at all. I don't get that. So we obviously know the answer to that, and we went over this. They changed the ending because they were going to make a Reva Star Wars series that eventually was canceled, and we talked about this just yesterday or the day before if you guys want to go ahead and check that out. But overall, guys, you know, let me know what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, everything related to Reva and Bob Chapek. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again. No.